Hey, Crowd Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publication Services family, where publishing and marketing do meet. If you looked at the topic, we're jumping right to the point today. We've talked enough about the writing, content management, and marketing services I offer. Today, let's jump straight to the point. So, we're going to be discussing homeschool tips and just advice to help you parents out there that are already on it or thinking about going that way. If you're thinking about going that way, let me motivate you and encourage you. The fact is, in America alone, this is just America, more parents are deciding to homeschool their children. I don't think I have to tell you why. Today's date marks March 30th, 2022. Okay? And see, the past 2 years, there's just been so many changes in the educational system, okay? Including many giving up things, giving up many comfortabilities, giving up what we know, what we used to know as public school, the rights we had there. Something as simple as going to eat lunch with your children, checking in on your child's class, right? You might can do it virtually these days, but, they're not just letting parents in the school anymore without proof of a vaccination record and a long list of other things. This is what a pandemic does, okay? Outside of that topic, like I said, maybe you're thinking about going this direction, so here are just some tips. Or if you're already a homeschool parent, things that might help you. Creating, one thing you'll never hear me kind of say is the word schedule. Because with my past history of anxiety and actually they call it disruptive anxiety, what I've dealt with. And it's kind of like I only get anxiety when I'm about to start a project or plan something actually very, very important. So my overcoming story has been pretty cool. But the word schedule, coming from a place of anxiety attacks and stuff like that, used to just schedule, okay? Because when I hear schedule, this is just how it was in my mind. Like, it's like a set time, a set destination, a set, and something about set just, but you got people that don't understand anxiety and they'll just, they'll say all manner of things about you because they don't understand your mental mishaps. But this segment is not about anxiety. I bring that up because instead of using the word schedule to help me overcome the anxiety mental barriers I was facing, the word routine is better. I know schedule and routine is the same thing, but routine just makes me feel like a butterfly. It's something about the word routine, and whatever works for you. That's just an example of how what might work for one person might not work for the other, okay? So routine just sounds a little more like control to me, something that I chose, something that works for me. Routine, like a route, but it's your route that works for you, okay? Schedule is more like something you have to. It's like, here's a schedule. Set yourself a schedule. Here's the routine, okay? So you'll find, and this is just a tip of an advice, that when you find the proper routine that works for your family household, because some of you guys are married, some of you are not. Some of you are two-parent households, some of you are not. And actually, that's one of the bigger reasons why a lot of parents have not chosen to go the homeschool direction yet, because they're like, hey, it's just me. How can I work full-time and homeschool my children too? So we're about to talk about it. You have parents that literally do 10 hours a day of lecture time with their children. Why? Maybe they're a little bit more serious about seeing their children excel and early, right? They're serious. Those type of parents, I bet you their kids are already entering, doing college applications at the age of 15, 16. Why? They're doing 10. Public school education system doesn't even require them to be there 10 hours, okay? So those parents out there that are doing 10-hour a day lectures, I respect you, I commend you. But see, on average, it is recommended that you do at least 2 to 3 hours a day of lecturing. So you can do 30-minute segments per subject. Not telling you how to do it, but however you can work this into your routine is going to help you, okay? 30-minute segments per subject, for example, could help you fit something like 4 or 5 subjects in one day. Okay, you're covering topic after topic after topic in this same subject for 2 to 3 hours a day. And then I didn't say how many days. It's recommended for homeschool parents in America that you do 3 to 4 days a week. So you might do this might work better for you. You say you got to work full time or whatever y'all be having going on out there as single parents. Maybe Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays when you're off is a better time for you. Maybe the evenings is a better time for you to help with those learning coaching sessions with your children. But see, you can't expect everybody in society to understand that. Sometimes I take my kids out in the daytime and people are like, why are they not at school? And have no idea that I'm a total homeschool parent, okay? And we've, from the beginning of this whole pandemic, I've tried every option available out there. We did half days on campus, half days at home. That's one I've already done, and that's an idea for you guys. Some schools offer this option, some don't. One thing I can tell you, just about every state in America has some type of homeschool, protocol that they do offer or option, especially since the pandemic. So it's as simple as, I wasn't on that topic yet, we were talking about routine, but as far as getting started, researching the homeschool laws in your state, okay? And then you'll find out some stuff, okay? Even the homeschool board, even the homeschool boards know that you are legally entitled to picking the hours, to picking the schedule, the routine, as I say, for your children. That works for you guys, because, you might have a 4th grader, a 1st grader, a kindergartner. I learned so much. They say, I forgot what the saying is, but it has something to do with you don't know your power until, you don't know how strong you are until that's your only choice. So, yeah, I never saw myself teaching or kind of coaching or leading my children through different grade levels as I work, okay? But it's totally possible. Get you a part-time job, which is hard to do during a inflating economy era, okay? But see, there are part-time jobs at the same time. You're going to have to start, this is just an idea. Work a part-time job that's going to pay you $23, $25, $27 an hour. You got multiple kids. Just because you work part-time doesn't mean you have to make less money. But that's not everybody. Everybody ain't going to even tell y'all that. Because everybody, they rather see you struggle through a pandemic. And it's retarded to me. When it could all be so simple. Because before, the whole public education school system was here. How did people teach their children? Predominantly at home. And then you had kids that walked to school and they went through way worse conditions just to get an education before the days like today, before this society existed, okay? So it's not like we're going to die because we have to homeschool our children. Yes, I saw it. Our alcohol sales rates went up when people had to start homeschooling for whatever reason. Parents felt so stressed. They felt so lost. Number one, they hadn't been in school for 12, 13 years themselves. So they had no idea what they were doing, and that's why we do these segments, to let you know, guys, there are virtual tutors out here. The districts will offer tutors as well. For there are programs outside of school. Clayton is a pretty universal tutoring program that people know about, Boys and Girls Club, stuff like that. But yeah, there's help out here. Like, if there's a certain subject that you are struggling to coach your child through, there are tutors and things like this out here, even free tutors. And these are some apps and softwares actually that are out here too that you're going to want to research, okay? Because it's as simple as downloading these apps to their devices, downloading these apps to your devices that help you keep up with what your child is doing, okay? And I'm not talking about the old-fashioned ABC mouses and stuff. There's other stuff out here, guys. It's 2022. Once again, do people want you to know that? That's why it's important. You guys have to join these homeschool groups in your state, in your local community. There are more parents on this than what you would think, okay? So they get the same looks in the grocery stores throughout the daytime. People like, why your kids ain't in school? Oh, what? They go to school from home. Their classes, like my 1st graders' classes, might be from 5 to 7 every night. The second graders classes might be from 8 to 10 in the morning, right? You got to find a way to break that up. Then you might decide to work your telecom video conferencing job overnight while your kids are asleep. Once again, whatever routine works for you. It's your survival. Nobody's out here paying our bills for us. Pandemic unemployment stopped a long time ago. What else stopped? Stimulus checks. So the people that have all these comments, they can really, they're irrelevant because they're not paying your bills. They're not putting food on the table for your children. They're not going to put you in the brand new Bentley that you hope to drive one day, okay? Because this is still possible if you find a proper routine that works for your household, okay? You want to come up with creative ways. You might have kids as young as 2 and 3 anyway. You got to teach them the basics, their colors, the number line. I'm sorry, they're learning how to count, all that stuff early anyway. When they're like 1, 2, 3 years old, you do that anyway. If you're not, you should be, okay? And this is going to be the same with the higher the grade level goes up. All you're doing is researching creative ways to keep this learning routine, make it a bit more happier experience. For example, I invested in some craft stuff at the Dollar Tree the other day. It wasn't even the other day. Let me bring up a real scenario. For Valentine's Day, right? The girls wanted to make some crafts. They had these like sponge heart things for $1, the glitter, the paint, the googly eyes, and we made hearts. They each made 5 hearts each, right? And we hung them on the wall, and this made them feel accomplished because they still had their own and we baked Valentine's cookies, right? See, if they're not in school, they weren't able to exchange cards and do the Valentine parties, which a lot of schools aren't doing it anymore anyway because of COVID. They don't want outside food in the classroom, okay? So these are fun ways you can keep creativity alive as you do your homeschool classes right at home, okay? You want to supplement with easy homeschool curriculum and lifestyle resources. In other words, kind of correlate how what they are learning will help them with real life experiences in their future, okay? Don't just say, you got to do this because it's state regulated. No child wants to hear that. I wouldn't want to hear when I was in school, okay? So, when you're teaching them the concept of money from home, or teaching them how to count change or dollar bills, for example, do real life scenarios with them at home. Let them earn chore money and all this fun stuff so they can see how learning the concept of counting. I know for you high schoolers, it's probably important that you're teaching them about bank account and financial literacy. That's what I would do if I had teenage homeschool kids, okay? I wouldn't wait till they're young adults to be telling them how to manage their money and wondering why they need gas money from me every week, okay? This is stuff that is now your responsibility now that your child is not, practically being taught by you outside of whatever system and program you're using that works. Now, a lot of people use digital technology software apps in their learning programs because it prevents them from having to actually do the lecture with their child or have the whiteboard or chalkboard. We've been through all of it, straight up though. I don't have the chalkboard now. But we used to have a whole big chalkboard, right? We had the globe, the map, the United States map, the world map hung on our wall, okay? My kids could see it every day. These little type of trinkets are only $1 at the Dollar Tree. And now your child can literally see the United States map every time they look at the hallway wall or the world globe. These are things that they are going to need if you are properly teaching U.S. history anyway or world history anyway, right? It just helps you get your point across. So yeah, and then make history fun. Show them why learning history is important, and not just the history of whatever culture they come from, but history of cultures abroad, okay? Because you don't want your kid growing up in the world not knowing how to treat other people that don't look like them. And sadly, there's many people out here that you can tell it wasn't taught. It was not taught. Maybe because they went, in my personal story, I literally was raised in white schools. I don't tell everybody. I just think it's funny how I'm treated. how like people's reactions to me in the world. Some of my best friends are Caucasian. From Saudi Arabia. She's a whole engineer today, right? I was never raised to that was never in my I don't know what to call it, Whoever I made friends with, I made friends with. But times have really changed. It is what it is. But I just had to put that out there, and I choose to teach my little ones. We are not going to judge people by the color, culture, just stuff that maybe schools don't have the time to take out to talk about. But if I was a homeschool student, I'd definitely homeschool teacher, I think that's just as important as core subject curriculums. Another great thing about homeschool, there's not going to be a limit on when you get them started on a certain level of education. You want to teach your second grader 6th grade algebra? Go for it. That's what I'm saying. In the system they go. In the public system they're required by the state to go by a certain curriculum per grade level. Okay. But in the most they'll do is probably test your kid to see if they need to be in gifted and talented, honors classes, or need to be moved up. They do. It's not like they can't perceive that, but you won't have an education board system to look at that for your child anymore. Okay. You should be able to look at your child and say, oh no, you're ready for the next level, or okay, I'm going to give you a little more math right here, or I'm going to give you a few more English projects right here because I want to challenge you. Okay. So we already kind of covered the flexible home routine. I don't like to use the word schedule, but a flexible, something that works for you guys, and not what because I'm in homeschool groups and people do different things. Some of these ladies with husbands, he might coach them and do the teaching Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, she does it Monday and Thursday mornings. Like, people come up with all kind of creative stuff, but it's just doable, is my point. This segment is more for the single parents, though, that literally ask this question in the back of their mind. Like, I really would prefer to homeschool, but how am I supposed to do that and work full time? I'm telling you. Now, I don't know the full answer to that question, but I'm just giving some ideas and tips, okay? Have you thought about working from home? And until you are able to land that type of contractor job, this is something you could actively begin pursuing because you want to educate your children from home that bad. Okay? Maybe start it 2-3 weeks, let them keep going to school, and then after you have officially been hired, go ahead and make that transition. Okay? Make sure that there's programs out here, guys, too, that will provide the devices, the electronical, digital technology that you need. Because, like I say, when they're in school, they're offered the virtual learning options, and they are going to provide the laptops. But see, if you withdraw them, they're going to need their technology back, straight up. So, where are you going to, because I'm not saying everybody can just afford technology for 4 or 5 kids. 2 kids even. 1 kid. Y'all know how much tablets are, laptops and things like that. So probably in the description section, or email me, guys, crimecontentpublications@aol.com. I have no problem sharing resources of where you guys can apply for either vouchers or the devices themselves to help your kids get started, because you might need some of that stuff, especially you guys with middle school and high schoolers. Graphing calculators are going to be a major deal. I'm actually going to have those available too here soon on the Content Crime Publications website, which will be in the description section. Just because even being a college student, I know what it's like having to get these type of supplies every semester or every quarter, because you're going to need something different per class or as you elevate per grade. Okay, so you need to remember those type of, just some of the same things they would need, and you do have the right to follow the curriculum of the state. Nobody said you can't just because you withdraw them. Totally download the curriculum, if that helps you stick to some type of, because we talked about in another segment, there is really a whole career out here called curriculum editor. Like, you're the person who comes up with the curriculum for parents and things like that. That's something you could be doing from home, straight up. Parents don't want to be researching what level their child is supposed to be on, what they're supposed to be teaching them by week, by month, but you could be helping them do that. And that's not even a tutor. That's just a curriculum manager, okay? Editor, whatever you want to call it. somebody who's willing to research what level a second grader should be on, what they should be doing per month, the Hooked on Phonics programs, whatever you want to do. Some of you guys are, some homeschool parents out here are teaching their kids a second language already, a third language. These are just things that, at school they're only limited to a few electives, okay? And then they can't even get access to these electives until middle school. But when you're teaching them at home, the possibilities are endless. They can learn German, French, right? Because you can give them as many electives, as they would call it, as you'd like, because you are now the homeschool teacher. So yeah, curriculum, lesson plan, same thing. You just want to adopt the type of plan or curriculum. Once again, Crown Content Publications helps you guys do stuff like this too. Contact me anytime. crowncontentpublications@aol.com. I'll help you get it together. Why? Because I'm already a homeschool mom. It is what it is. And yes, it might work better for work from home. I know work from home parents who it works better for them to send their kids to school. I don't judge either one. Then I know people who still live their average lives. They go to work, their kids go to school. I'm saying what Miss Whitney has already tried. I've been on all level of it already. And I don't like being called at work because my child sneezes. It was stupid. I'm losing jobs, I'm losing hours, I'm losing money anyway because I got to keep going to the school. Over stuff like that. It's dumb. Okay, well now we need you to get her a COVID test because she sneezed. I got burnt out real quick. And then the people out here without kids, they be giving you a hard time. They just be looking on. They don't know. They don't know what you done already survived. Everybody's survival look different through a pandemic. And if you never raised kids through a pandemic, there's just nothing you can say. You never raised kids during the Great Depression or during the inflation, there's absolutely nothing you can say in my eyes. It's true. So, these are just some ideas. Just don't forget, y'all be on social media anyway. There are millions upon millions, even globally, people that are homeschooling. What y'all think these Ukraine kids are having to do right now? You think they're just immediately enrolled in public school? These guys are being homeschooled wherever they are. They're being doing virtual classes. Imagine, okay? So these tips and advice can help anybody. It's just finding the right routine, sticking to the core, not just the core values, but the core regulations with your state when it comes to the subjects and everything your kids supposed to. Because I know I mentioned digital technology, but you don't have to have digital technology to teach from home. You can invest in workbooks, regular books, old-fashioned sheet and paper, and teach these lessons. It's just more convenient for parents to, subscribe and, put money into these programs that kind of coach the kids on their own when they're online, okay? And I actually agree with that. Other stuff on the side, if the kids have a question or they're just interested in learning in something, I definitely go look it up and we go over it. But it definitely does help. Technology does help. I'm not gonna lie, because and there are platforms. Once again, like I said, there's organizations that'll help you guys with the devices. There are platforms and organizations that will also help you. They might be used textbooks and stuff like that, guys. And then there's places that you can even rent them. I know y'all know about, what are they called? I forgot the name of it. But anyways, you can rent books anywhere, even at the public library. So, books, movies, documentary, DVDs, whatever y'all want. Just, this is to encourage somebody out there, because, it's totally doable. It's probably even safer these days, right? It keeps mine protected from contracting the COVID virus. We went through all of that already, okay? Nobody wants to keep leaving work or having to stay at home with their child anyway, and they're a single parent because they have gotten sick, because they have contracted it from a class of 25 people. This stuff is still going on. People are quiet about it, but a lady just told me the other day she just got over COVID. I said, what? I thought that stuff was gone. They said, no, it's not gone. Okay, so here we are. When do we start having a discussion about tips and advice that helps parents that are homeschooling? Okay, when are we putting these groups and organizations together to help these single moms and dads out here? Because I met a dad the other day too. There's single dads out here. I know plenty of them who divorced and they took custody of the kids. But guess who's whose responsibility it is now to make sure they're educated. The dads. It doesn't matter that he's single. There's plenty of dads out here doing the same thing. So anyways, guys, you want more details, you want to chop it up with me about more fun tips and advice for homeschool parents, email me at crowncontentpublications@aol.com. Keep up with my website weekly, because yeah, we have homeschool parents in mind a lot, especially with me being an author. I'm definitely going to have some children's books coming, coloring books, and textbooks are going to be greatly needed because I see what's going on in society. But yeah, if I were a beginning homeschool parent, I would definitely begin ordering. I ordered some the other day, just these workbooks that they can work out of from home pertaining to their grade level. Journals and stuff, guys, just remember that stuff. While it is $1, because I heard taxes just went up at the Dollar Tree, everything's $1.25. But while stuff is $1, investing in stuff, you can do some stuff from home. Thank you.